Rob Manfred was busy, excited. He got to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays, his favorite subject. If you asked Rob and you gave him true serum, he would tell you that if he never had to think or talk about the Tampa Bay Rays, the Oakland, Sacramento, Vegas Aths, or the Miami Marlins, he would live happy days. The big question surrounding the Tampa Rays, not the Oakland, Sacramento Aths, because they're done at the end of 162. They have no chance to make the playoffs. They stink. My pick for manager of the year, Mark Kotsay, is a loser pick. They're done. But Tampa always finds itself in the middle of a playoff race. Where are the playoff games going to be held? I told you that there is no chance they can hold LCS or World Series games at Steinbrenner Field. The capacity is only 10 or 11,000 people. It will impact the playoff shares so much because playoff shares are made from revenue generated during these games. And 10,000 people cannot generate the revenue that 40,000 people can generate because you can't charge 4 times as much in average ticket price. I know you get the math. Stay with me. So they were looking at Miami, various places to play the LCS and the World Series. Then Rob announced yesterday. Interesting timing. Why would Rob announce yesterday that the Tampa Bay Rays will be playing all postseason games in Tampa at Steinbrenner Field? Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be sold to a Tampa area businessman for $1.7 billion? And that Tampa area businessman is going to be asking the politicians in Tampa to contribute to a public-private stadium, ballpark in the Tampa area so that Rob Manfred can expand from 30 to 32 teams? Do you think for a minute that Rob Manfred is stupid enough to step over dollars to pick up pennies? Rob Manfred is smart. Now, he may not be what A-Rod described him as, the smartest person in the world, but he's certainly in the top 1,000. You're not going to take postseason games away from Tampa and move them to Montreal or move them to Miami or Nashville or anywhere else and then knock on the door during the World Series and say, "Hi, it's Rob. Can you do us a solid here? We're going to need about $800 million in public money plus infrastructure improvements. Are we good?" Why would you do that? Of course you leave the games in Tampa. But the reason that the commissioner said he was leaving the games in Tampa was funny to me. He said, "Our rule has always been that people play in their home stadiums during the World Series. And I'm not of a mind to change that rule." We change rules all the time. We have exceptions to rules all the time. It would have been beyond question if the announcement yesterday had been that the Tampa Bay Rays will be playing the LCS and World Series games in Marlins Park. And the reason they would give is it is a major league park. It is weather perfect. There will not be any rain delays. It's got a roof. It's got camera positions. It has all the necessary accoutrement for the VIPs who come to the World Series. There are suites. There are special areas for parking, all the things that are needed in a World Series. Our sponsors will be taken care of. Our owners will be taken care of. Me, the commissioner, will be taken care of. It's all good in the hood. Here's what the criticism would have been. That's it. That would have been the whole criticism. I would have preferred the announcement saying, yeah, normally, of course, we would have moved it because we don't want to play a World Series in front of 10,000 people. During COVID, we went to Texas. That was fun. We played that in front of people who were social distancing with masks. But we can't play in front of 10,000. Where's everyone going to sit? It would have been totally fine, Coca. I'm actually a little annoyed. A little annoyed that he didn't just come out and tell the truth. Although maybe it makes nothing personal better that we get to tell you the truth and you're like, oh, that totally makes sense. There was not a scenario where Rob was going to turn his back on Tampa, and nor should he have. There are concerns, though. There are concerns about how it's going to work. And the fact that moving to a larger neutral site would have been better for everybody, players, umpires, the league, the union, everybody. But I totally understand. Now, here's what they're rooting for. Tampa not to make the playoffs. Now, that sounds crazy that MLB would ever have a rooting interest, but here's the surprise. They do have a rooting interest, and they really would be better served by not having Tampa in the playoffs. Right now, they're a game and a half back. They're chasing Cal Raleigh and the Seattle Mariners. And if they catch them and nothing else changes, you'd have four AL East teams in the playoffs. Pretty cool. But we'll see what happens.